This is Radio Brockley.
Hello and welcome to Brockley News Extra, the programme where you get the chance to hear all you need to know about what's happening in and around the hospital, as well as updates on other local events and people who work in the community. I'm Alan Joyce, and coming up today, a special focus on one of the other charities based here in the hospital grounds. The Aspire charity has its own national training centre right here in the hospital grounds, and we'll be taking a guided tour of the centre with Gemma Wiley. Plus, Ron Laver went along to one of their recent outreach days where children from local schools come in and take part in a whole range of activities. All that coming up over the next hour here on Brockley News Extra. So stay tuned to London's longest running hospital radio station and your number one recuperation station, Radio Brockley. So first today, let's take a tour of the Aspire National Training Centre. It's over to our reporter, Gemma Wiley.
Hi, I'm Gemma. I'm the Kids Zone Manager here at the Aspire National Training Centre. We're going to show you around our centre and tell you exactly what sort of things that we offer. We hope that you enjoy listening, and hopefully we'll see you at the centre at some point soon. I'm here at reception with Bonnie. Can you tell us what's going on right now?
Right now we're signing in our aqua classes, which we do every day. People who are members or non-members can attend, and we have an array of memberships that appeal to over 60s, registered disabled, or anybody of any abilities.
Excellent, so pretty much anybody can join. What sort of memberships do we offer here?
So we do two types of memberships. One is like a pay-as-you-go, where you can pick and choose what you do, and then our other one is a premier membership, where you pay per month and you can use all the facilities whenever you like.
Excellent, and why should people come and be members at Aspire?
We're completely integrated, and we have lovely friendly staff who will welcome you through the door and show you around, and it's just a great place to be.
I'm with Beth Mallin, who's our swim school manager. She's going to tell us a little bit about what we offer with the swimming lessons and things.
Hi Gemma, here at Aspire we offer swimming lessons from children from 6 months all the way up to adults. We specialise in working on a one-to-one basis with people with disabilities and special needs here as well. We invite everybody to come and try our pool out because it's fantastic and warm and a great environment for people to learn to swim.
And what sort of equipment do we have that allows people with disabilities into the pool? What makes us special?
One of our really unique designs of our pool is we've got a ramped entry, so people that struggle with movement or are currently using a wheelchair can enter the water with ease. So they can literally wheel themselves down the ramp and swim off into the water, or be helped out by one of their friends or a carer.
Excellent, brilliant. And what else do we sort of offer in the swimming pool? What else is going on?
There's loads of things going on in this pool. It's quite useful for aqua classes, general swimming, bringing your children down at the weekend, to keep yourself fit and motivated, or to meet new friends who have got similar interests.
Brilliant. And just lastly, what about those people who are just looking back to get back into their fitness? What sort of things do we offer for those?
Well, the aqua classes are done on a range of abilities, starting with aqua therapy, which are for people who want to get some strength and exercise going on, to aqua calm, which is nice gentle exercise, full up to an aqua blast where you're blasting through the water. So we have different abilities for everyone's fitness levels.
Beth, so you said that the swimming pool is generally kept slightly warmer. Can you tell us how warmer and why?
Yeah, well, normal swimming pools are maintained at about 27 to 29, and we're really lucky to have our main pool kept at about 31 to 32. So it's a great big difference. So it allows people that do have mobility issues to maintain their warmth whilst in the swimming pool if they're not able to keep their warmth up by doing lots of vast, vigorous exercise.
Brilliant. And what does that mean for people who are maybe taking rehab and having to do those sorts of things? Is it good for sort of hydrotherapy?
Well, it's not as warm as a hydrotherapy pool, but it's one of those great other options, because hydrotherapy pools are quite difficult to find. So you can come along and you can get on with the exercises that your physiotherapy have assigned to you.
So I know that the fundraising department uses the swimming pool, and I hear that there's different things that you can do globally, not just at Aspire. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, the Aspire fundraising team run a Channel Swim event. Now, you actually get to do this in the comfort of your local swimming pool, not just hitting Dover and swimming over to France in the real freezing cold channel. So you get to swim the distance of 22 miles in your local pool over the time period of 3 months.
Excellent, wow, 22 miles sounds like a long way. Do you have any idea how many lengths that is?
It's in the region of about 1,500 lengths of a normal 25-metre pool.
I'm with Jonathan, he's one of our sports development members, and he's going to tell us exactly what sports development do and why it's so important. Hi Jonathan.
Hi.
So can you tell us a little bit about what's going on today?
Well, I'm one of the coaches, and what I do is basically help schools to be a bit more aware of disabled sports, so that they're more integrated. You can see here at the moment we've got kids in wheelchairs, they're playing handball and they're playing blind hand football as well, and they're enjoying it. So you'll find that when we go back to their schools, they're sort of doing sports with the disabled children as well.
Brilliant. And do you just offer sports at Aspire for these schools?
No, I actually go to different schools. To be honest with you, it's only on Thursdays that I'm in the centre. Usually I'm going around every day of the week, sort of promoting disability sports and so forth.
Excellent. So you're nice and busy.
Yeah.
What sort of sports do you offer, and is it just to disabled children or is it open to everyone?
It's open to everybody really. Here you can see there's no real disabled children. They are disabled sports, but the majority of them I will do for sort of disabled children as well. And it's really, we cover Panafrican sports, so like table sports, wheelchair, basketball, wheelchair handball. But sometimes we're creating stuff as well. My job is more about learning about what they like and what they find sort of stimulating. So I initially got into this job providing sports, and in the end I've learned a lot of sports that I sort of spread around to different schools from the kids themselves.
Excellent. And why is it so beneficial, do you think, to children without disabilities to learn a different sport?
Well, it's all about inclusion really. We're moving forward now away from separating disabled children from the children who are fully able, or non-disabled really. And we're finding now when we go to certain schools that they are playing together, they are involved in PE together, and we just want to keep that going really.
Brilliant. So in a way you're teaching children without disabilities, putting them on the same level as children with disabilities.
Absolutely, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I'm now here with Joe Gilbert. He's one of the duty managers here at Aspire. He's been here for years and years, and he's going to tell us about his injury, how he came to work at Aspire, and the successes that he's had since then. So, hi Joe.
Hi.
Would you like to start by talking to us a little bit about how you sustained your injury?
I broke my back in 1972, fell off a roof, and I broke T12L1, and he left me partially paralysed from the waist down.
And back in those days, I presume the technology wasn't what it is now. So how was that for you? How did you manage with that?
It was very difficult in them days because we didn't have proper wheelchairs. We just had old-fashioned wheelchairs, not like what you get today, proper super-duper up-to-date wheelchairs, and we just managed for years.
Okay, and what sort of things have you done since your injury that you're proud of?
Yeah, I've started playing basketball about 5 years after my injury because I didn't know what to do, because the first 5 years you just get on with life. And then I started playing for a team in the West Midlands where I used to live in Birmingham, and I just took it up from there, and I loved the game. And ever since then I've just tried hard to play the game.
Brilliant, and I heard that you were pretty good at basketball. What level did you get to?
I got to a very high level. I played for Great Britain in the mid-80s, and I went to the 84 Olympics, but was held in Stoke Mandeville at the time and not in America, Illinois. And ever since then I've played top class basketball up till about the age of late 30s, early 40s, and then all I do now is do a lot of training, and I train lots of youngsters and give them lots of skills and knowledge of what I know about the game.
Brilliant. Now you said you went to the 1984 Olympics, which was in Stoke Mandeville. How excited were you to hear that it was coming to London?
Oh, absolutely over the moon when I heard it was coming to London, and then like everybody else, it's just a one-off event. Because it happens all over the world, and obviously it comes to London, and it's right on our doorstep now, isn't it?
Little Birdie told me that you had quite some involvement with it. Can you tell us what exactly you did whilst the Olympics were here?
I was actually a torchbearer in the Olympics on the 11th of July, and I done it in Reading, 300 metres, and it was absolutely fantastic day out. I had wonderful friends, family and staff from here who were just watching me for the rest of the day.
Brilliant, and I hear that somebody from Aspire actually nominated you. Can you tell us who that was and why they nominated you?
It was Tasha Webster who nominated me to do the torchbearer for the Olympics, because I've been playing basketball for 20 years in this sports centre where we are today, and this is where Aspire Force first started, or the Mike Heafy Terriers in them days, and we've been here ever since, and for the last 20 years I've been here. We've had about lots of Paralympians go to the Olympics.
Excellent. And with the Aspire Force, if somebody was interested in joining basketball, what would you say to them? How could they get into it?
Well, you can look on the website and look up for the wheelchair basketball, or we do actually train here on a Saturday afternoon between 2 and 6. So if you'd like to come down, by all means come down, have a word with me, and we can see if we can fit you in a chair. We do provide chairs for beginners, and then obviously if you do progress, then you buy your own wheelchair or you get funded for it.
Brilliant. Now, it's not just basketball that you do at Aspire. Tell us a bit more about what you do here.
Right, my job is quite easy. I'm just maintenance manager of Aspire. If anything goes wrong, I'll try and get it repaired as quickly as possible, or we have outside contractors who come in and repair it for us.
Brilliant. And how long have you been working here?
Oh, roughly about 20 years.
That's a long time. You must really like it.
Yes, it's the only place I'll go.
Brilliant. Thanks for talking to us, Joe.
That's a pleasure.
We're now in the internet cafe at the top of Aspire, just after the cafe, and we are going to talk to you about some of the assistive technology that we've got, which is really great and very innovative. It can be used for all different levels of injury, and there's all different ways in which the computer, the desk, the mouse can be adapted. For example, the desk raises and lowers depending on the height of the chair that you'd be using. We have different things that can be plugged in so that you can use a mouse with using your breath. I believe that we have some voice recognition on the computers as well. So it's really, really adaptive, and you can use it for all sorts of different reasons. Obviously, to get onto the internet and to use that sort of thing, it would be great for patients of the hospital to come and use that. Now, the internet cafe, you don't need to book, you can just turn up to use it, and it's £1 to use it for an hour, I believe. You can do that at reception, and if you're interested in finding out how to use the inclusive technology, if you've never used it before, you can just drop us an email, and we'd be happy to set up a time for you to come in and we can show you how it works. So you just need to email info@aspire.org.uk, and somebody will pick it up and send it on to the right person. So it's really inclusive, really adaptive, and we'd love for you guys to come down and have a go and see what you think of it. I'm talking to Basil, who manages our on-site cafe. Hi Basil, how are you?
Yeah, fine, thanks Gemma, how are you doing?
I'm good. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you offer and what people from the hospital can expect when they come here?
Yeah, hi, I'm Basil, as Gemma just said. I operate a Cafe Espresso up in Aspire. We've been here almost 10 years operating this place. We offer a range of freshly baked cakes, freshly made baguettes, and everything's prepared fresh on site. Not a lot of people know we're here, and for those who do, they don't always get time to come up to us. So make an effort, come up here, because we make excellent Italian coffee, freshly prepared food like I've just said, and there's always a special every day. We're open 7 days a week, from 8 o'clock in the morning, and weekends from 9 on Sunday. 9 on Saturday and 10 on Sunday. But come and check us out, it's well worth the visit. Thanks.
Brilliant, and it smells really good. You said you do specials. What sort of specials? What's the special today?
Well, we have various specials. We do home-cooked dishes like shepherd's pie, lasagnas and what have you. Today we have a wrap, a falafel with peri-peri hummus wrap and rocket, and that comes with veggies and a salad. So our specials range from sort of low-fat wraps to your traditional shepherd's pie, like I just said, and lasagnas and that kind of thing. And like I said, everything's prepared on site. It's not bought in. Even our cakes are baked from site, from fresh.
So well as all of the other facilities that we've talked to you about, we do offer a special children's department, which is the department that I manage. It's called Kids Zone. We offer a huge range of different activities, be it during the school term or during school holidays. For example, we offer regular tennis lessons, badminton lessons and arts and craft lessons throughout the week. And then also during the half-term holidays we do a children's play scheme which runs Monday to Friday. And as well as that we do children's parties. Now right now we've currently got the toddler inflatable run up and running, and I can see some children enjoying that. That's a brand new party that we've just created. It's a brand new run that's specifically designed for children aged between 2 and 6 years old. It's absolutely fantastic. It's bright and colourful. There's all sorts of things to do on it. There's a ball pit, a slide, there's a snake wall, a bowling alley, there's air jets. So it's really great, really inclusive, absolutely brilliant fun. We offer tailor-made packages for that as well. We also offer parties for ages 5+ in our sports hall and in our swimming pool as well. So there's lots and lots going on. All you need to do if you're interested in holding a party, knowing a bit more about our kids camp or wanting to come to an arts and crafts lesson is to contact us at Kids Zone. Now our contact address is kidszone@aspire.org.uk, or you can contact the info at Aspire email address as well. So yeah, you should definitely come down and check it out because it's brilliant. We're currently walking between our reception area and gym area. It's hugely accessible. The walkways are really wide, so you can get 2 large-size wheelchairs passing along the corridor. We have lifts on either side for ease of access. We have braille signage for visually impaired. We also have large print, audio and braille leaflets that tell you exactly what's going on. As far as parking is concerned, there's lots and lots of parking spaces for disabled car users. The whole front car park is designed specifically for disabled users. So it's really easy to get to, really easy to move about in, and just makes it even more reason to come down and to try out some of what we offer. I'm currently standing on what we call our link corridor. It's the corridor that links the Spinal Cord Injury Rehabilitation Centre and the Spinal Cord Unit to Aspire. So there's a complete direct corridor that takes you from the ward or from the rehab centre right to our centre. And we have actually got quite a lot of people from the ward and physios and things coming down to use the centre. For example, the physios use our sports halls so that they can do in some inclusive sport. We also have a group of physios that come down and use the swimming pool as well. And on top of that, we see lots of patients over here for the cafe. Some patients are currently gym members and use our assistive technology in the gym. We see a lot of the patients in the internet cafe, and just generally, it's a nice, welcoming place to be. If you fancy getting off the ward, it's really easy to get to. You can just roll on down, come and have a look at us. All of our staff here are more than happy to kind of show you around and be friendly and introduce themselves. I'm with Karsh, who's one of our gym instructors, and he's currently doing a assisted exercise program. So I'm hoping that Karsh is going to come and be able to tell us a little bit about what he's doing. So Karsh, what is it exactly that you're doing here?
It's one-to-one exercise with people in any special populations. So for example, disability, medical conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, anything like that.
And everyone that comes, are they tested for all of those, or do they state that beforehand?
They self-declare. You're usually tested by a GP, so any medical conditions, they usually get history from the GP.
Brilliant. And are they referred by their GP to come along?
A lot of the time, yes. A lot of people that come along have heard about the reputation of Aspire as well, so a lot of people come from like the other side of London and say, my physio recommended Aspire or my GP recommended Aspire, so we've got quite a good name out there as well. So.
And why should they come to Aspire instead of somewhere else?
Well, in terms of our equipment, we've got great specialist equipment, we've got a really well qualified gym team, we've got great experience in working with people with various disabilities, medical conditions, so really it's an ideal place to come if you want that specialist attention.
Brilliant. And last question, you said that we have specialised equipment. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, a lot of our resistance equipment is quite easy access in terms of like wheelchair use. The seats sort of come out and wheelchairs can go straight in. We've also got bright colouring for people who've got visual impairments. We've also got sort of machines that make sounds for people with visual, for hearing impairments. And in terms of physical impairments, a lot of the machinery is a lot easier to get on than most other gym equipment.
This is Brockley News Extra on Radio Brockley. And coming up next, we're going to be having a look at one of the other recent Aspire events. So next we find out about their Outreach event, which take place regularly at the Aspire National Training Centre, and they bring in children from the local schools. And our reporter Ron Laver went along to see what goes on.
I'm currently in the Aspire Sports Hall. I've been invited here today by George Timoteo. George, what's going on here today?
We've got some local primary schools coming in to take part in some Paralympic activity. Well, normally the children that have come in would be potentially excluded in their normal PE sessions at school, but by coming here, the sessions are tailored to meet their needs. Therefore, they are going to excel in the sports that they do here rather than be sat on the sidelines at school.
Okay, that's interesting. So the schools that are coming, are they specialist schools?
There's special schools and there's mainstream schools. The mainstream school normally has a few children who attend them that have disabilities, that it's their choice that they go to a mainstream school. But then what happens, the SEN department must try their hardest to make sure that they get supported fully through their school life.
So by bringing them in with their peers in here today, puts them, I guess, at the front of the sporting activity.
Absolutely. When they come here, they're the experts in using a wheelchair, for instance, and all their friends are struggling to keep up with them because they haven't used their upper body strength for many years. When they're at school, they can be left out and they can be made to feel a little bit inferior, so they can't get onto the grass pitch. Potentially the colour schemes might not work for them if they're vision impaired. All sorts of different problems that they encounter. But when they come here, they have an advantage over everybody else.
So that must do their street cred, if you like, a lot of good apart from anything else.
Absolutely, their confidence, their self-esteem. Everybody wants to ask them a question when they get back to school. So tell me about your wheelchair. I mean, how comes you've got those really bright coloured rings inside? And they'd respond in the same way that you'd decorate your bicycle. They then start to have a common denominator that allows them to have conversations. We're trying to do two things. It's social inclusion and then sport inclusion. So what then happens is these children can choose who they want to bring with them from their school, so then they identify their friends or the people that they're going to carry forward into later life.
And what's the long-term aim of this?
There's a multiple of things, really. The first one is that they have an opportunity to take part like everybody else. Another reason we do this is that children that aren't disabled are able to understand disability better and to not walk on the other side of the road when they see a wheelchair user. And lastly, we're trying to also inspire the teachers and the teaching assistants to be able to understand how to integrate them at school so that they can adapt sports. So we heavily involve the teachers in these sessions.
Do you find that's a problem when you first go into a school?
Yeah, when they were at school, I'm not sure they had the same arrangements that we have here with these current school children. I don't think they had inclusive sessions where they could take part and understand disability. So they're a little bit scared, I think, sometimes in how to change things without offending the person. So we're there to teach the teachers or coach the coaches how to do this.
And what about parents?
It's very difficult, I think, having a disabled child as well as non-disabled children, because you can then give more attention to the disabled child or a lot more focus because of their needs, and then the other children tend not to get as much attention as a family without disabled children. So it is a problem in some households. Every household's different. But we're hoping that we can provide some respite sometimes for these children to come in and give the family some time at home with their other children. But at the same time, they should come together as a family as well. They should come together and support each other. So a lot of our activities in half-term and holidays, we don't just invite the disabled child in, we ask for siblings to attend. And if the child needs support, it would be great if the parent supported rather than the designated carer, so that they do bond as a family. Every session that we do at Aspire is intended to be inclusive, so that everyone can attend at any time. Of course, we have sessions during the day which are within curriculum time, and we fully support that. The sessions we do at the weekends and in the evenings, there's a full list of activities on the website. One particular club that we're trying to get going is a Saturday morning club, 10 to 11, 1 hour to start off with, and once we build that we'll extend it to 2 and potentially 3, and then that will provide the respite that some families need. I think we've got a strike.
Yeah, looks like it. I've had my back to what's going on there. They're playing 10-pin bowls at the moment, wheelchair bowls.
Yeah. The Boccia Club on a Saturday morning is one that we really want to invite people to and grow that group. And it's also a very sociable game, and it's something that everybody can play. It's not that you have to be a certain impairment to play it, but if you were to compete at a higher level, then there are classifications for you to enter. But for now, we just want people turning up, playing some bowls games and having a bit of fun, and you heard the excitement over there.
Just turning back to the hospital now, if patients are listening, and either for themselves or other members of their family, how can they get in touch with you and get involved in these occasions?
The easiest way is to pick up the phone, call us, or write an email. And if you are in the hospital and you are mobile and you can get across, why don't you just come over and see us? Our doors are open to everybody. The email address is sports with an S @aspire.org.uk. Alternatively, a phone number 0208 420 6739.
I've got Claire Brown now with me, who's a volunteer here at the Aspire. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning.
First of all, what made you volunteer? I understand this is your first day here.
It is my first day here and I'm very excited. I've had long links actually with Aspire. They go back to days when I was working at a college in Harrow, and there was some people up here doing their MVQ2s and MVQ3s. I used to be their assessor. So I got very involved with Aspire. My son came up and worked here in the summer camps, and I've maintained that link with my interest in sort of Paralympic sport and pentathlon and activities sort of in that way.
And I understand you're actually a school teacher by profession and work in the local area. Did you have any contact with Aspire as part of your job?
Yes, I did. I've just taken a sort of a career break at the moment, but I've been working full-time at a school in West Harrow. And we had a child came to the school who was in a wheelchair, the first child we'd had with a wheelchair. So I contacted Aspire to say what could I do in terms of facilitating PE for this particular child, and with my own interest as well, that sparked off a whole development of disability sport in my school, which I was then able to share with other schools with supporting work that George was doing as well.
Did you have any trouble sort of introducing this into your school?
I didn't, because I have amazing staff that I worked with, but I did encounter more problems at other schools, but I think it was because with George's help, Aspire's help, I was able to make it very accessible to the staff at the school, with schemes of work, with purchasing equipment that I was able to do through a large supermarket that ran a scheme, and so that helped. I mean, having appropriate equipment is one of the key things, and I was willing, as my head teacher was, to invest a lot of money in appropriate equipment. So it took a while. I mean, a lot of nurturing and a lot of support on my part, and the support from Aspire, but it was fantastic. It really took off in the school. It was wonderful.
And does that carry on now? Is that still something that's actively happening at the school and generally in Harrow?
It certainly is still happening at my school. I'm still in touch with them, and I get the odd email, can you remind me what we did for that? So I know it's still going on. They run a club after school. We called it the Pentathlon Club, where we did sitting volleyball. That has continued. We had curling, boccia, blind football. So a lot of the games.
this is a mainstream school, so those clubs that are running now, are they open to all comers?
Absolutely. Mainstream school, all our clubs that we ran were open to every child, whatever their need. They could access it. We would find a way round. And but the Penathlon Club is incredibly popular, not only with our wheelchair user and other children with disabilities, but with all children.
In terms of the children themselves, what do you think that brings to their life by running these sort of clubs in a mainstream environment?
That they are that everybody is the same, that they are all equal. They may have to be in a wheelchair, but another child's not very good at maths. So they started to feel that they were all on the same level. And in fact, our wheelchair user, we got involved with Brazilian television and with Rio, because Rio want to introduce sort of the penathlon activities. And they came and filmed at our school and interviewed our wheelchair user and asked a very similar question. And he said, they now know how I feel, and I can be like them. And I think probably that sums it up.
I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Oh, no.
Do you think, in general, that in education we could be doing more than we are?
Oh, without doubt, there has to be a lot more done. And we have to, there's huge pressures on teachers, and I can come at it from a teacher perspective. There's huge pressures on teachers with curriculum time, with planning, with so forth. But if we can make what goes on here, put it into schools, but make it accessible for them, I'm sure there is a lot more that can be done. I'd like to think that after the Paralympics, a lot more we need to keep that alive and need to keep that in the front of people's minds. We've got to build on the foundation. Aspire do an amazing job, and if we can keep building on that little by little, then it's got to be worthwhile.
I've got one of the students with me now. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
You're a student at a local school. How old are you, may I ask?
I'm 18 years old.
And you've been coming here to the Aspire with your school for how long?
Well, this is our second session today, coming to do wheelchair rugby, but we've also come before to do other different sports, like I think we've done football and wheelchair basketball here before as well.
And do you find it a useful activity?
It is a useful activity because it gives you, it's something different, like you don't normally do in actual school in normal PE lessons. So it gives you a chance to experience different sports that you just don't do normally.
Do you find it difficult in normal PE lessons, or I mean, you look, I have to say, you look pretty fit to me standing there.
Yeah, I find participating in normal PE lessons easy. I like participating with my friends. I like getting in there when playing football with them. I like being in the middle of all the action. So I'm quite a person. I like contact sports. I like being in the middle.
So have you got plans for the future in sport?
Yeah, I'm currently training to participate in the Rio Paralympics in 2016 in athletics, in shot put and discus. That's my goal for the future.
When did you first get the idea that you might like to be a Paralympian?
I think after London won the 2012 bid back in 2005, I was in Paris at the time, and it was between London and Paris who won the Olympics. And I think it was such a brilliant place to be, because we were cheering. We were like only a couple of us and over 1 million French people in Paris, and we were like cheering when they got announced. And we were like, yeah. And it was quite quiet, so everyone turned towards us when we won, so yeah, we kept quiet after that a bit.
Had you any thoughts about that sort of thing before then?
Yeah, I didn't really set my sights on athletics, etc., or the Paralympics really. I knew I wanted to do something in sport because I like keeping fit, I like to keep active, I like participating in team sports especially. And I think by that time I started watching the Paralympics back in 2004, back in Athens, watching replays and highlights of that. And when once the Beijing Paralympics went on, I thought, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this in the future. I can see me doing it.
So Rio's your goal at the moment. Is that a definite, or have you got to get to a certain level before you'll be accepted?
I think I've got to get to a certain level. At the moment, I'm training to go to the World Dwarf Games in Michigan, in USA, later on this year. So hopefully I do well in that, and hopefully I'll be able to be a good supporting push tour onto Rio.
So how much sort of training do you have to do for these events?
I train 6 days a week. They combine of 3 gym sessions, 3 throw sessions, and also some plyometrics and flexibility work as well.
And what about your schoolwork? At age of 18, you'll be studying A-levels, I take it?
Yeah, I'm currently studying I'm doing this BTEC in sport at the moment, and as it is, it's coming to the end of the year, so I haven't get all the work, and so it's quite hard to balance it all, but it's manageable. I've just got to sort of cut down my social time a bit more, so I've got time for all my work and my training, because I don't like to miss training sessions.
And what about the financial things for going to places like the States and to Rio? How much of that do you have to find the money yourself?
Well, luckily for the States, we've got a charity helping us out. But before that, we would have had to support ourselves, and it was incredibly hard. But luckily, we've got our name with this charity who's willing to help sponsor us to go to the States.
Okay, I'm with Lee now. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning.
And I understand you're in your first year at Bushy Meads.
Yeah, I am.
How are you enjoying it so far?
I absolutely love it.
What's so good about it?
It's just that at my primary school, I couldn't be included in PE, but at Bushy Meads, they finally include me in PE, and there's special PE every week.
What was that like at your primary school then, being left out of PE?
I actually find it really annoying because I weren't getting active. What it used to be was me just sitting on the field making daisy chains, and I just hated it because I wanted to be included, but they weren't doing anything for me.
And I guess that's the difference when you came to Bushy Meads then?
Yeah, it was. And now I really love it.
And you enjoy coming to the Aspire here?
Yeah, and I've also got experience in wheelchair basketball, wheelchair rugby, and wheelchair football, because I have very good experience in multiple wheelchair sports, and I go to Stoke Mandeville and take part in the National Junior Games and the Junior Camp, and it actually makes me feel like I'm not more or less the only disabled person in the world.
Which you're not, of course.
No.
And are you planning to sort of develop the sport as you get older?
Yeah, I am. I'm also hoping when I grow up to be a wheelchair engineer, so I could take wheelchairs apart and fix them. And yeah, really.
What's your favourite subject at school?
Probably science. I like doing experiments. I always get positive results off my teacher.
And do you have special labs that you work in with the different height benches and things?
Yeah, we have height adjustable tables in probably every classroom, and so they can go down to my height.
How do you find your schoolmates treat you as opposed to how you were treated in your primary school?
They actually treat me as I'm not different, because at my primary school, every person I saw, they said, "Oh, what's happened to you?" But there's nothing of that at Bushy Meads.
I'm with Nikki now, and she's a teacher at a local school.
Yeah, Bushy Meads.
What is it they're actually doing here today?
Wheelchair rugby. They just whether they're wheelchair users or not, they can all actually get into a wheelchair now, and they actually play the game sitting in a wheelchair.
And some of them are actually wheelchair users, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
And some aren't.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a real mix.
Yes.
And I guess at the moment he's just getting them used to being in a wheelchair, and
yes.
they're racing up and down the court.
Yes, that's right. They're just kind of getting the feel of it because they've obviously got to learn to push.
Yeah.
And then they'll have the added difficulty of actually sort of having to catch a ball as well while they're pushing themselves around. So. And
how long have you been coming here with the children to Aspire?
This is actually only our second visit, but we have been invited to sort of come back, after this, and it's something that our students absolutely love. We actually take part in quite a lot of games which are specifically designed for students with disabilities. We go up to Stoke Mandeville quite a lot. Right. They have a lot of competitions up there. Yeah. We do a residential course up there once a year. It's like the National Junior Games. So
your school is a mainstream school?
It is, but we have a unit for students with both sort of learning difficulties and physical impairments as well.
Do you find that helps the students being in a mainstream school?
Yes, I think it does. I think it helps them because it just enables them to integrate as obviously they would do outside school. And I think it's also very good for the students who don't have any kind of disability to actually accept them for who they are. And it works really well.
Look like they really enjoy it.
They absolutely love it. They've been looking forward to this for weeks. So, really, really excited. They've all been kind of chatting as we've come up here on the bus, and they absolutely love it. It obviously gives them an opportunity to achieve. If they're in a mainstream school, they obviously take part in mainstream PE lessons, but this is something which is specifically for them, and they absolutely love the opportunity to come up here.
OK, let's see if we can listen in on what's going on court.
The games we're going to play, you may be tempted to come out of the chair and pick up the ball. And if you can do that, there's no point in you having a wheelchair, OK? So, remember, at this present moment in time, your legs do not work. All right? OK, got that? OK, let's try you out then. Let's see if you can remember which one to go into. So can you make your way to the... without touching my valuable cones? Yeah? Remember that each cone is worth £10,000. Okay? Go over it, and you're signing me a check. How much do you owe me already?
Probably about
£20,000. Okay, good. All right. Okay. So can you make your way over to the green, please? Yellow. Let's go. Yellow. Well done. Who got there first? Oh yeah. Okay. Here are the rules. 5 at a time. So we're going to keep rolling. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for now. Okay, you can't go outside the black line. You can only have the ball for 10 seconds before you have to pass it. Okay? Your aim is to get the ball in between those two cones on the opposite side. Right? You don't throw it through. You need to have it on your lap and wheel it through. If you throw it through, it doesn't count. All right? Is that clear? Yeah. Any questions? Now remember, the black line around the outside is your parameter. So if you take it outside there, it's out of bounds and it'll go to the opposite team. All right? Okay.
Now, just before that goal, you would have heard the referee counting down. That's because they're only allowed to hold the ball for a maximum of 10 seconds before they have to pass it. So he's counting down for them to ensure they don't incur any penalties. What's your name?
Shane.
And you've just come off the court?
Yeah.
Having scored there at the end. A good crossover from your colleague here on your right. How did you enjoy that?
It was alright actually. It was good. At least I got the ball. He gave it to me, yeah. It was good.
Is this the first time you've played wheelchair rugby?
Well, I've done it before. It's my second.
It's your second time. Well, I think you're in the lead at the moment, so let's hope you keep it up. Good luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
What's your name?
Akeem.
And are you enjoying it here today?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's good to compete against other people and have fun. Yeah, it's not all about winning, it's about having fun with other people too.
You made a beautiful run down the centre there to pass to your colleague we were just speaking to, to score a goal there.
Yeah, because the ball was about to fall off my knee, so if I just put my knee to hold it, yeah, I can be able to wheel and pass the ball at the same time.
You're not wheelchair bound yourself. How difficult do you find it sitting in a wheelchair and chasing a ball without actually jumping out of the chair and picking it up?
I find it a bit hard, yeah, but I'm getting the hang of it bit by bit, though. Yeah, and it's good for me, yeah, to get upper body strength. Yeah, this is my 4th time playing. Yeah.
Hiya, what's your name?
Botanical.
And you've just come off the rugby court. How did you enjoy it?
It's having a very great time. I'm having fun.
It's what I notice is if the ball's thrown straight to people and it lands in their lap, they're fine. But if it just misses them, it's a hard job chasing it, isn't it?
It is hard because the people doesn't give to me because they have to play, because I can't play as well.
But you seem to be doing fine to me out there. You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a really good fun. It's really hard to get the ball in. It is fun, but sadly I can't play because I tried to play myself because I've been working for helping the people as well.
Well, look, thank you for your time and good luck.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. I've got a parent carer now with me. Good morning. What's your name, madam?
Bharti.
And you've got a child here today?
Yeah, she has got muscular dystrophy and she comes to do accessible sports and she absolutely loves it.
You come with the school, I presume, as well?
I do come with the school, as they have 3 children or 4 children who come with us. As a parent carer helper, it just is easier to manage with a few more.
So you've already said your child really enjoys it. What benefits do you think it brings to her?
Well, we've seen a lot more strength in her, muscle strength, which has built up that over the past few weeks that she's been here. She absolutely loves the swimming here as well. So, yeah, we've seen a lot of benefits. And because when she's doing these exercises, she's doing a lot more other activities that would help her gain strength.
And what do you think it does for her well-being?
I think it's inspired her a lot. Definitely, she's more capable and she's just, it's brought her out a lot more, seeing other children who are in the same boat as her and, working with them, I think has helped.
And does she go to a mainstream school? Or
She does. She goes to a mainstream Whitchurch first and junior school, which is just in Stanmore, and they are really very good with special needs children. At first it was a bit difficult because they'd never seen her in a wheelchair and all that, but they've got used to her being there and they're really caring. They do look out for her and help her out when they need to.
So this is a progressive disease, isn't it? So she didn't start in a wheelchair when she started at the school?
No.
So that must have been a big change for her.
Oh yes.
And the other kids as well. Did you find that their attitude changed all of a sudden?
To be honest, actually she started off in a wheelchair, but now she's walking a lot more, so she's using the wheelchair a lot less. We've seen that the more she walks, the more strength she's getting in her legs, and the more she's doing with them, using less of the wheelchair, which is a huge benefit. And the children have noticed that, and they've been like, "Wow, what an achievement!" So we kind of hope that she will carry on as she is and, progress further. These activities have helped her incredibly, and we're very, very grateful for these activities that they offer us.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
If you want to find out more information about the Aspire charity, by the way, you can go to their website. Go to www.aspire.org.uk. Now, if there's anything else you want to find out about happening here in the hospital, then do get in contact with us here on extension 5483 or on 0208 954 6591, and we'll try and cover it on future editions of Brockley News and Brockley News Extra. Stay tuned to Radio Brockley across the week for more information about the events and services available in the hospital, along with the widest range of music you'll hear to suit all tastes. And you can catch up with this and other editions of Brockley News by logging onto our website at RadioBrockley.org and following the links. You can now also catch Brockley News Extra Monday to Friday lunchtimes at midday here on Radio Brockley, and also Monday evenings at 8 o'clock. Plus, you can tune into Brockley News every Sunday evening at 8 o'clock with me, Alan Joyce, for half an hour before bedside bingo. So from me for now, goodbye.